Support for Louisiana, the state we're in, is provided by
Entergy Louisiana is strengthening our power grid throughout the state. We're reinforcing infrastructure to prepare for stronger storms, reduce outages, and respond quicker when you do need us, because together we power life.
Additional support provided by the Fred B. and Ruth B. Ziegler Foundation and the Ziegler Art Museum, located in Jennings City Hall. The museum focuses on emerging Louisiana artists and is a historical and cultural center for Southwest Louisiana. And the Foundation for Excellence in Louisiana Public Broadcasting and viewers like you. Thank you.
A new report gives Louisiana's infrastructure a barely passing grade. We'll dig into it.
Rapper 50 Cent is making big investments, hoping to transform the city of Shreveport into an entertainment hub.
And the LSU Shreveport Pilots pick up a big honor after their undefeated season. We're talking to the coach.
Yeah, plus Louisiana is aglow with hundreds of handcrafted masterpieces. We'll take you to the Winter Lantern Festival. It's a Friday. We're together. Let's get started.
Let's do it. Hi, everyone. I'm Christina Jensen.
And I'm Victor Howell. Much more on those top stories in a moment on this week's edition of Louisiana, the state we're in. But first, around 250 federal Border Patrol agents are expected to target New Orleans over the next few weeks. According to the Associated Press, the 2-week crackdown is being called Swamp Sweep. Federal agents are expected to begin operations in early December with the goal to make 5,000 arrests. Immigration advocates have raised concerns about legal residents being caught up in the Trump administration's crackdown. Meanwhile, Governor Jeff Landry has encouraged the Trump administration to deploy federal troops on National Guard members in cities across the state of Louisiana.
From roads to bridges to drinking water, Louisiana barely made the grade in a new report on infrastructure. Overall, the state got a C-, highlighting issues dating back decades. Here's a look at what the report means for public safety and what's needed to bring Louisiana up to par.
Severe storms, chronic underfunding, infrastructure aging faster than it can be repaired. A new analysis from the Louisiana section of the American Society of Civil Engineers warns that these pressures are keeping the state's systems from meeting the needs of today, let alone tomorrow, even with federal dollars and years of attempted upgrades. Engineers say Louisiana's natural foundation, its rivers, bayous, coastlines, and wetlands, can no longer carry the weight of a modern society. Press event, the Society laid out the stakes. Louisiana's roads, bridges, levees, ports, and water systems, much of it built decades ago, are being pushed to their limits. This warning forms the backbone of the 2025 Infrastructure Report Card.
Positive steps have been taken in recent years, particularly through record levels of federal investments in our built environment. However, Louisiana has its own unique characteristics, trends, and challenges. So it is important to have a localized report that speaks to our state's needs and future outlook to pair with the national assessment.
The 140-page report card looks at Louisiana's most essential networks. The overall grade, a C-, a slight improvement from 2017, but the engineers say that progress has not kept pace with the scale of the challenges ahead. When it comes to what people feel most, roads, water, and bridges, the grades are even lower. Roads earned a D, with engineers noting they continue to deteriorate as years of deferred maintenance pile up. Drinking water systems also received a D, with some communities still struggling to meet basic potable water demands. And bridges were graded a D+, with more than 1,500 structures now classified in poor condition.
Reliable infrastructure is the backbone of Louisiana's economy. When our infrastructure is working, it is typically out of sight and out of mind. Like when water runs from the tap in our homes and businesses, or when we travel smoothly to work and school. Our infrastructure is put to the test every day, and if it's not funded and maintained properly, it can be overwhelmed, such as water mains breaking and shutting down businesses and traffic, or a bridge having weight restrictions.
Efforts to improve are also being undercut by the relentless pressures of climate. Louisiana has faced extreme weather events in the last decade. Hurricanes, floods, and heat waves, each one testing infrastructure that was never built to withstand so many back-to-back disasters.
In the last 10 years, we've had 36 events that have led to $200 billion in damage across the state. Now, when that happens, the way that the strength of our infrastructure systems often have determined how safe we are from those events of impacting people, or how quickly we can recover from those events. Each of our infrastructure categories has been underfunded for decades, leading to the investment gaps that we have now. Now, we've made strides in recent years addressing these gaps, but decades of underinvestment has led to deteriorating conditions across the state, which puts us into a deep hole that we need to climb out of.
The report looks at far more than just roads and bridges. It examines airports, ports, dams, levees, and coastal protection projects, the full network that keeps Louisiana moving and safe. While progress has been made in some areas, engineers warn that without continued investment, a dedicated workforce, and stronger collaboration, the state's infrastructure will remain vulnerable.
Our state should strengthen partnerships among local governments, regional planning organizations, universities, and the private sector to share best practices, align investments, and develop innovative solutions.
Yet the report also acknowledges progress. Levee improvements and port upgrades are underway, and transportation dollars have funded targeted repairs and expansions across the state.
Infrastructure assets continue to age, and we're being impacted by basically limited resources and funding. But that being said, I want to also reemphasize there is actually an increase in the grade, meaning that since 2017, we have actually, in our state, done things to address some of these issues, which is actually a good thing.
The report covers the final years of the Edwards administration and the early years of Governor Jeff Landry's term, a period marked by new federal infrastructure funding and major storms. For engineers, the numbers in the report aren't just grades, they're warnings. Because behind every letter is a real-life consequence. A family driving across a failing bridge, a town waiting for clean drinking water, a coastal community losing land that once served as a natural buffer. Louisiana has always been defined by its natural abundance, waterways that carried commerce, coastlines that fed communities, and landscapes that shaped culture. But the engineers say relying on nature alone is no longer an option. A C- may show some progress, but as the American Society of Civil Engineers stresses, the road ahead is long and much more work remains.
Let's take a look at what's trending this week. Some huge news for Xavier University.
Huge news, big news, big numbers. Billionaire Mackenzie Scott donated $38 million to the university. Now that's on top of the $20 million that she had donated to Xavier back in 2020.
Yeah, she always gives back, and this time she's giving back a lot. School officials say the money will be used to help more students afford college, expand programs, and enable more support.
Yes, unbelievable gesture. Scott has donated more than $700 million to over a dozen HBCUs. She says she wants to support inclusion. What a great gesture. Congratulations to that.
Great job to her. All right, well, Thanksgiving dinner. Let's talk about the cost, right? Most people think the cost of a dinner is going to go up, but actually it's going to go down.
Nice to hear.
Yeah.
People will take that kind of news.
We'll take that.
Yeah, they'll take that kind of news for sure. They spend about 5% less this year than in 2024. But wait, there's more to the story.
There always is.
Yeah, you see, turkey prices this season are down about 16%. But according to the Farm Bureau Federation, the cost of most of the side dishes and ingredients are actually higher than last year.
That's how they get us.
There you go.
That's how they get us. The average family will spend a little over $50 for their Thanksgiving meal.
Yeah, now when compared to 2019 prices, the average Thanksgiving meal is about 13% higher this year.
All right, we'll take whatever we can get.
Hey, just enjoy the meal. Enjoy the family time, enjoy the meal, worry about all that later.
Exactly. Well, let's talk about the USS Kidd. It is back in the water after undergoing around $16 million in repairs and upgrades in Houma.
Yeah, check out this time-lapse video of the ship being floated out of its cradle and back into the river. Great scenes, great news. It's going viral on LPB's social media pages.
Yeah, what a beautiful look at that new paint job, along with some much-needed repairs and historically accurate upgrades.
Yeah, now teams are waiting until water levels are safe before tugging the ship back upriver to its home in downtown Baton Rouge. That should happen sometime next spring. It'll be great to welcome the Kidd back to the capital city.
I cannot wait to see
indeed.
it. All right, well, let's talk about some good news now. Forget the king of New York. Rapper 50 Cent is working to become the king of Shreveport. The rapper and music mogul has invested millions of dollars to take over a big stretch of the city in hopes of making it the next big thing in the entertainment world. I talked to Shreveport leaders about what that investment means for the community.
Shreveport, Louisiana, a city known for its music, culture, and history, is now making headlines in the world of entertainment. International music superstar Curtis 50 Cent Jackson saw potential where others saw empty studios and quiet streets. His goal, to transform downtown into a thriving corridor of creativity, putting Shreveport on the map for a whole new generation. Shreveport Mayor Tom Arsenault says Jackson's influence could be transformative, bringing new foot traffic, new energy, and new opportunity.
Well, it was interesting. He has a friend and business colleague named Orville Hall, and shortly after I took office on December 31st of 2022, so essentially the first of 2023. Shortly after that, Mr. Hall approached me and he said, "Would you be willing to meet with Mr. Jackson?" And I said yes. Well, he came in, we met privately, and then he kind of laid out some of his vision. I said, "Well, this all sounds pretty good."
Jackson's first major move was a symbolic one, leasing the once busy Millennium Studios, a cornerstone of Louisiana's early film boom that had long since gone quiet. Inside, the property holds the bones of a full creative engine, sound stages, production offices, a construction mill, and even a prop house. Now, under Jackson's leadership, Millennium Studios is being reborn as G-Unit Studios. Though it was originally slated to open in 2025, repeated flooding has delayed progress. Still, Jackson's vision for Shreveport remains as bold as ever. One of its first major projects, Shreveport Justice, a television series that shines a dramatic spotlight on the city's law enforcement.
When do you think some of the benefits could be seen?
I think some of those will start being seen as early as this year, certainly the first quarter of 2026. I know that he's been working on a package with the state of Louisiana. I expect that to be finalized and announced before the first of the year. And then I think you'll start to see some real development, actually see development that wasn't in the list of things that I even had, so that's really bonus development, but very important development to our downtown and the entertainment district.
Part of Jackson's vision includes a new entertainment district, a vibrant stretch of downtown where film, music, food, and nightlife collide, breathing new life into a part of the city that has long waited for a spark. And that spark grew even brighter when Jackson purchased Stageworks Louisiana, a sprawling performance and production complex just blocks from Millennium, a space once built for big moments, now waiting for its second act. Shreveport, after all, has been here before. In the early 2000s, it was one of the South's hottest filming destinations, a place where major studios shot blockbusters and independent filmmakers flocked for opportunity. Jackson has now secured around 20 properties across Shreveport, each one a puzzle piece in a larger blueprint for the city's future. Abby Singer's Bistro, one of downtown's most vibrant culinary spots, is a place that already hums with creativity. Executive chef Nima DeGrazia says she welcomes Jackson's ambition because when downtown grows, local businesses feel it first.
I moved here 12 years ago, and I wanted to be the change that I want to see in the world, not just serving good food, but also creating a community. And having 50 Cent here in Shreveport, I mean, we have local heroes, right? But bringing 50 Cent, bringing a big name, it's such an amazing thing for our community.
Chef DeGrazia hopes 50 Cent's influence in her cooking can put Shreveport on the map. Her food tells a story, a blend of Southern comfort and her West African heritage, a combination so bold and distinct, it helped her beat celebrity chef Bobby Flay on his own Food Network competition show, Beat Bobby Flay.
I cooked for 50 Cent, I beat Bobby Flay. I feel like the same woman, the woman who wants to create an impact, the woman who wants to tell a story through food, the woman who wants to build this community, Shreveport-Bossier community, because we are often, less sighted when it comes to food, when it comes to a community. We focus on just New Orleans. There are other cities in Louisiana that are great. I feel like Shreveport-Bossier has made it. Not just because of me, but because of this entire community. And there are many more to come. I've done multiple shows, and I'm hoping that one day everyone can get the opportunity to see it.
That sense of possibility is shared at City Hall. Mayor Arsenault, who has worked closely with Jackson throughout the acquisition process, watched the relationship deepen into something larger, a partnership built on trust and a shared belief in Shreveport's potential.
He and I developed a relationship of trust between us, and as a result of that, we were able to make some transactions. And then in addition to that, he is not only interested in the movie studio, he's interested in real development of the city of Shreveport, and he's willing to put his own money into that redevelopment.
Together, voices like DeGrazia and Arsenault see Jackson's mission as more than a celebrity investment. It's a bet on people, the chefs, the shop owners, the filmmakers, the residents who bring Shreveport to life every day. And for a downtown long defined by unrealized possibility, Jackson's vision is offering something new, momentum.
Along with that 50 Cent news, there's a lot going on in Shreveport lately, including a big honor for the LSU Shreveport Pilots baseball team. After their record-setting undefeated season that saw them go 59-0, locking in the longest win streak in college baseball history, the team is being honored with an exhibit honoring their 2025 season at the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame in Natchitoches. Earlier in the week, I spoke to head coach Brad Neffendorf about all the accolades the team is receiving and earned. Well, what a feel-good story it was for the baseball team last year at LSU Shreveport. The first perfect season. They've been recognized by the president up in Washington, D.C. They won the national championship in the NAIA. And then earlier this week, had a chance to spend the evening at the Louisiana Sports Hall of Fame in Natchitoches, looking back on this season and also an exhibit now. So you folks at home can go up there and see it as well. We are pleased to be joined by the head coach at LSUS, Brad Neffendorf, joining us. Coach, thanks so much for spending time with us here. And let's first start with the night that you had in Natchitoches earlier this week. What was that like for you and for the team to see an exhibit go up in the State Hall of Fame to recognize the season you all had?
Oh, it was great. Obviously all the recognition that the program and everybody involved has continued to receive has been great. But to be able to, be recognized in that format in the state of Louisiana, next to some of the, the biggest names and teams and success that's ever, come about in the state, I think it's great. And I think it's great for our players.
Did you learn anything from the stories that have been told from the players, or maybe from the coaches, maybe from you, that you've realized since you all were crowned national champions? Have you all, as you have been celebrating this, have any new stories come out, or have you gained any different perspective on the wins?
No, I mean more so when you hear the guys talk a little bit, more in depth after they've been away from it, just the impact that teams have, not only just within this program, but ultimately outside of it, from the city to the university, to people that, just come and watch. It's, getting to, something that you realize goes on, but you don't realize it to the full extent until you're, I wouldn't say removed from it, but removed from last year's team and hear people starting to go more in depth into it.
I looked at your schedule. I know you had 2 games early in the season. One, you had to come back with 6 runs, I think, in the final 2 innings to win it by 1. At what point, or was there a point when you and the coaching staff said, you know what, we got a shot at this. We're not quit worrying about the next game. If we can win the next 3 or 4, we're setting history. Did that ever set in for you and the team?
Maybe towards the end of the regular season. But obviously, we tried not to think about that much, but I think as a coach and as a coaching staff, the more each game started going and saw how well we were playing, we knew it was going to take something special by whoever else we were playing lined up against, another dugout with a different uniform on, that they were going to have to play their best baseball when we were playing our best, to have, they almost have to play perfect. And we were going to have something go completely wrong. And tough to think about that. I think the one point, I thought more than anything that we maybe had a chance of, dropping one was that final national championship game. We had stuff going against us and stuff going the opposite direction that it hadn't all year long. And then we kind of snapped out of it. So.
Yeah, it's amazing, Coach, when you look at it. And I know you were down early in that title game, and then your guys responded right away. Have you ever just sat back and go, wow, we didn't have one bobble, one error that could have gone either way?
Honestly, a little bit this last week. We're in our last week, had our fall World Series here, and we were playing it with just enough on both sides of the ball with a position player standpoint to be able to do it, because we had 7 guys out position player wise, and a lot of them are major impact guys that we need in the spring, and I think they'll be back. But I was just sitting here looking at it going, my gosh, I mean, how easy it is for one guy to drop at a time, and we didn't even have that happen last year. So it's one thing to win a national title, but to not lose a game, you have to have every single thing go your way, and I felt that we did for that entire year.
And, Coach, with that run, it's certainly a magical run, and it's so worth reliving. But there's a little bit of an irony here that you're at the Sports Hall of Fame in Natchitoches, and you're celebrating last season, and your schedule just came out for next season. I know as a coach, you're ready to move forward, but how difficult is that balance for you? Because, as you mentioned, you did something that nobody's ever done on any level, and you were telling me before, these players deserve the recognition, but then again, you're 2 months away from starting the upcoming campaign. So how do you balance with that?
Well, I think you still have to use it to your advantage a little bit in regards to the teaching. I think we've done a really good job as a program not being caught up in last year, but we used last year and other years as, just to help kind of enlighten them. And it helps us, continue to get across why we're doing what we're doing, how we teach it, who we are, and just the things that we're built off here. For the players, they deserve, for something they've done so special, to continue to be recognized at the highest of all highest.
Before I let you go, Coach, let me ask you on the personal side, because I know you are focused. At what point, you've been to the White House, you met the president, you've had a wonderful night at the State Hall of Fame in Natchitoches. Has there been a point where you just sat back to absorb it, or is there maybe one thing that stands out for you on the personal level as you reflect back as the journey you all had 1 year ago?
I've had some moments, but I think it's tough. I think it's tougher for a coach, because it comes so quick and goes so quick. And then when it's done, it's done. I think it's more so reflecting back on just the people that we had, and we've got some of those people back, and you're only as successful as the people that you had, and we just had such an incredible group last year, from not only just the players, the coaches, the support staff, the people in the city that supported us, the school, just everybody involved. And I think that's what you strive to have each year, whether you can be successful at the highest level or not. It's about the people that you have, because that's what you remember the most, and that's the one thing when I look back on it, unbelievably special what these guys did.
Coach, I know the expectations are there. You come out preseason number 1. I know you've got a lot of ranked teams on your schedule in the first 3 to 4 weeks. From the White House to the State Hall of Fame in Natchitoches, getting ready to start another season. Coach Brad Neffendorf, thanks so much for joining us, Coach. Congratulations. It's great sharing the stories, and we wish you the best of luck with the new season. It's about to get underway.
Thank you guys very much. I truly appreciate it.
Well, an ancient Chinese art form spanning more than 2,000 years is lighting up the West Bank of Jefferson Parish.
It sure is. The Winter Lantern Festival transforms the night with hundreds of handcrafted illuminated works of art created by master artisans from China.
Yeah, from larger-than-life lantern scenes to acrobatic performers, it's a holiday experience unlike anything Louisiana has seen before. LA 64's Karen LeBlanc takes us inside the celebration.
The banks of Bayou Segnette are all aglow with larger-than-life Chinese lanterns, an ancient holiday tradition making its debut in Louisiana at the Winter Lantern Festival in Westwego.
You're going to see approximately 300 handcrafted lanterns. Each one's its own individual work of art. It takes 6 different artisans to make each one of these, from the the designing of it to the hand painting of it. So it's a walkthrough experience, which takes about 25 minutes. And then we also have a very special group of acrobats and performers that come over from China who do 3 times a night, a 20-minute show.
The Chinese art and tradition of making lanterns dates back more than 2,000 years. Originally, these silk lanterns were lit with candles. Today, they're lit with LEDs, but they're all still handmade, still hand-painted, and every one of these lanterns is made by a Chinese artisan. You created a lot of these Chinese lanterns that are part of the display, and the Chinese lantern is a cultural celebration in China. Artisans like yourself learn this skill from their fathers and their grandfathers. Is that your case?
Yeah, exactly. When I was young, my family do like these lanterns, and so when I was young, I started to touch this artist, and I started learning it.
The scene stealer is the spirits of the trees, which reimagines China's classic love legend as a luminous tale of unity between nature and the human soul. Other lanterns are playful and interactive, appealing to all ages. You can swing in a glowing circle, walk through lighted tunnels, and pose for pictures at your favorite scene.
We started actually just bringing the artisans to the United States, and we create a lot of them here. And then we basically spend a year, creating all new lanterns.
The Winter Lantern Festival is far more than a typical holiday light display. Walking through this world of illuminated sculptures offers a reimagined holiday wonderland inspired by Chinese tradition and infused with the spirit of the Bayou State.
I think what we like to see is just wonder and joy, and that's the main motivation for coming out.
节日快乐 LA64。
And thank you to Karen for that story. The Winter Lantern Festival at Bayou Segnette State Park in Westwego is open Thursdays through Sundays until January 4th, 2026 from 5 to 10 p.m.
Looks beautiful to go see and enjoy.
It really
Take
does.
It all in.
Well, that is our show for this week. Remember, you can watch anything LPB anytime, wherever you are with our LPB app.
Yeah, you can catch LPB news and public affairs shows as well as other Louisiana programs you've come to enjoy over the years. And please take a moment and like us on Facebook, on X, and on Instagram.
For everyone at Louisiana Public Broadcasting, I'm Christina Jensen.
And I'm Victor Howell. Until next time, have a great weekend. Thanks for joining us. And that's the state we're in.
Support for Louisiana, the state we're in, is provided by
Entergy Louisiana is strengthening our power grid throughout the state. We're reinforcing infrastructure to prepare for stronger storms, reduce outages, and respond quicker when you do need us, because together we power life.
Additional support provided by the Fred B. and Ruth B. Ziegler Foundation and the Ziegler Art Museum, located in Jennings City Hall. The museum focuses on emerging Louisiana artists and is a historical and cultural center for Southwest Louisiana. And by Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Visit Baton Rouge. And the Foundation for Excellence in Louisiana Public Broadcasting and viewers like you. Thank you.